Good morning, students. Today we are going to be talking about Chapter 5 on social work values and ethical decision making. For the PowerPoints of this class, you are always going to see the first slide like this, followed by the learning objectives, so you can read it at home. And then we start with the topics. Ethical decision making is a crucial aspect of professionalism in social work practice. Social workers confront ethical dilemmas daily as they attempt to serve others, advance human rights, and promote social, economic, and environmental justice. Also, ethical decision making involves consideration of several dimensions and, of course, a great deal of a careful thought. We have to think a lot every time that we make a decision about a client, because usually their lives is on our hands. As a basic foundation, social workers must recognize those legal duties that apply to all professional helpers, understand the state, local, and federal laws and regulations that affect the practice of social work. This means that maybe different states have different laws and regulations, so we are gonna learn how to do this stuff maybe here in Texas, but if you are gonna work in maybe Washington, maybe Alaska or Hawaii, you have to make sure you're following the laws and regulations there. When confronted with ethical issues, social workers first use their fundamental knowledge to identify those values, legal duties, and ethical principles that pertain to specific concerns, people, and circumstances. They are sure to adopt a fair and coherent approach to data collection. Well, social workers are subject of certain legally determined obligations for duties. Despite a plethora of laws and regulations, despite a lot of laws and regulations, the legal duties of professional helpers are not always clear. Sometimes ethics asks us to do something that is going to be against the law, or sometimes the law is asking for us to do something that is not ethic. So we have to decide what to do. For that, we always can base our decisions on the Code of Ethics of the National Association of Social Workers. So there's gonna be everything about how to act, what we should do. It's gonna be our guide. Because if not, we are gonna fail, or we're gonna commit what we call malpractice. Malpractice is a form of negligence that occurs when a practitioner acts in a manner that is inconsistent with the profession's standard of care. It's like when we act against our code of ethics, when we violate our code of ethics, we are committing malpractice. And if we do that, we can lose our license and privilege to be in this profession. There's a couple of types of malpractice. that we're gonna discuss in a bit. Actually, there are 3 common forms of malpractice. But before that, when we're talking about malpractice, it has to be proved that it's harmful to the client, but we don't want to harm clients, so we shouldn't be doing nothing that we think that's gonna cause harm. And these damages may sought through legal action, so we are gonna get sued and we're gonna have problems for real. Here are the forms of malpractice. The first one is malfeasance, and this is when we intentionally engage in this practice. It's like, I know that what I'm doing is wrong, but I'm doing it anyway, and I know what I'm doing is harmful to my client, and I'll do it anyway. For example, if I have a client that is telling me that he or she wants to kill him or herself driving a car and crashing the car in the freeway, and that client is in my office, and at the end of the interview I know the client has a car in the parking lot and he or she is gonna be driving home, but he or she just told me about those ideas, and if I don't do nothing about it, I just let the client go and the client kill him or herself driving in the freeway. That is malpractice, because I was supposed to stop the client, I was supposed to do something, and I didn't. Maybe another example could be like, if I let me think this better. If I know that you are gonna be late for something, no, that's a bad example, sorry about that. Okay, we get that later. So anyway, malfeasance is when you intentionally do something that you know that is wrong, and it's gonna be harmful for your client, and you do it anyway. The other form of malpractice is misfeasance. I hope I am pronouncing that right, but that is when you make a mistake in the application of one skill or something that you are practicing. For example, you think like you are asking some question to the client, following a questionnaire or something, but you just make a mistake in one of the questions. Or maybe you refer a client to CPS because you thought the mom was hitting him or something like that, but you make a mistake in the application. So it's not intentionally, it's just that you are trying to do the right thing and you made a mistake. But anyway, that mistake is a form of malpractice. And the other form of malpractice is nonfeasance, and that is when I'm supposed to do something and I don't. It's failing to apply a standard or acceptable practice when warranted. For example, in the first scenario that I created about the client that told me who wants to kill herself in the freeway. It's not the same that if I don't know what I have to do, if I don't know I have to stop him. So okay, that's gonna be my practice anyway, because I didn't know what to do, that's gonna be nonfeasance. It's gonna be malfeasance if I intentionally let the client go knowing what I was supposed to stop him. I hope you get that, because those three are very important for the class and very important for the midterm too. So if we commit a form of malpractice and we have problems, because we will, the best defense to a lawsuit is gonna be our code of ethics. We have to prove that we were ethical, competent, and well documented. This means that all we do, we have to record it in the client's record, everything, and all our practices or our models or our theories are based on current research. If, for example, I can be a social worker. Suppose that I graduated in the year 2000. Just a guessing. I'm not saying that I did, for those who wanna know my age. But if I graduated from my MSW in the year 2000 and I never take like continuing education, I'm not updated in theories or models of social work, I'm gonna be keeping doing things the old way. So everything we do have to be based on current research. We have to keep reading, studying, and looking for new things that are proved by science and research, because this profession is gonna be a lifelong learning. We always gonna be learning about something new, and that is the best part of this, because it's gonna be dynamic. Everything changes. So these are some of the risks that we can take. Okay, it says risk of complaints or litigation increases when professionals engage in misbehavior. I'm not gonna go one by one now, but we can talk about this in class when I get back. Just read it and read the definitions in the book. In the book, they are in page 163. So we can discuss it and you tell me what do you think about it, okay? And treatment without consent, professional incompetence, failure to maintain currency with advances in knowledge base, failure to prevent a client's suicide, battery or sexual impropriety, and then these are the laws and regulations that affect social work, like child abuse and neglect, elder abuse, domestic violence, civil rights, sexual harassment, psychological testing, psychotherapy and counseling, child custody and adoption, marriage and divorce. So we have to know all about these laws and regulations. We have to be updated in all of them. And as I said before, it's going to depend in what state we're working, so we have to be careful. Okay.